Coach, I guess the question I'd really like to ask you this morning is the question that I can't ask you. So, how you doing? A little sting taken out of last night's loss at all today?
Well, we moving forward like life. You know what this business is about. You can't dwell too long on it. You got to fix your issues and move forward and continue to work hard to get good players, and that's what we're doing. And we feel good about some of those kinds of things. And we're disappointed in the loss to New Mexico. We haven't lost very many home games, and rarely have we lost back-to-back games, and both happened last night.
Moving forward with some very good players. Message received. Well, we'll move on to last night's game. I know it was disappointing, Coach, and I don't know, watching the game last night, to me it seems like one of your team's strengths is that you have the ability to make other teams play less than their best game against you, whether that's because of the preparation or the tough defense your guys play. It just didn't happen last night, though. New Mexico played about as well as they could.
I would say that's a testament to the way that New Mexico is playing right now. After they lost in the first round to us at their place, 75-70, and Vegas beat them pretty good at Vegas, they have now won 6 straight games. 10 points is the closest they've had. They've had 41-point wins, 30-some-odd point wins, several 20-point wins. They've been throttling people, and they're doing it at both ends of the floor. They don't give you a lot of easy looks, and they make shots both inside and out. And when they're shooting it from 3 the way they did against us last night, they're a hard team to beat.
In the second half last night, your team pulled even at 38, and the crowd was getting going, and I felt like you might have been one basket away from really going on a big run. I think Xavier Thames had a three-pointer in the air. If it had gone in, you would have taken the lead. It didn't go in, and then New Mexico went on the big run. What happened in that moment? I mean, how did the game get away right there?
You hit it on the head to start with. We had back-to-back wide-open threes. Xavier had one off of a great penetrating kick move that he just missed. The next play down, off of an offensive rebound, we kicked it out to James Rahan. He had a wide-open three. It did not go in. New Mexico goes back-to-back threes. They made 3 straight threes. None of them as open as the 2 that we missed. So we go from tie to down 9, and then they punched it up to a 15-point lead, and we fought our way back from that. But that stretch, and we talked about being opportunistic and taking advantage of opportunities. They did. We didn't.
Coach, I don't know if you've had a chance to go back and look at it anymore, but the technical fouls called on Garrett Green and Jamal Franklin in the first half. Any more thoughts on that the day after, whether those were good calls, bad calls, calls that could have gone either way?
This is from the coach that got the technicals. Garrett's was warranted. He pulled himself up on the rim, so that one was deserved. The second one, even though it might have looked bad because he hit him in the face with the ball, absolutely with no reservation, I know that Jamal's intent was not to throw the ball and hit him in the face. He's instinctively trying to save the ball, and he didn't know where he was throwing it, but he was throwing it at a body. So I think that one was not only poorly timed because it gave Jamal his second foul, and he sat out for like 9 or 10 minutes in that first half, but it was unwarranted.
After back-to-back losses, Coach, I just have to ask, do you think fatigue is a factor, knowing that your bench is not as deep as many of the teams that you're facing, and now that you're 25, 30 games into the schedule, do you think that is having an impact on your kids?
I don't think that fatigue has a factor because of the length of the season or minutes played or games played. What's happened in these last 2 games is we have guarded so hard that wears you down. Tapley was chasing and chasing and chasing, and we have to find a way. I have to find a way to rest them a little bit. Xavier played, I believe, all 40 minutes, and Tapley played, I think, 38. We've got to force ourselves to give them a 2-minute rest here, 2-minute rest there. I tried to rest Chase the one time right before a media timeout to get him maybe 5 minutes of actual rest, even though he might only miss a minute of on-court play. So I think when you guard as hard as we do, or attempt to guard as hard as we do, that might have a bit of an impact on your offense, but you still have to be able to make plays offensively.
Talking to Coach Steve Fisher of the Aztecs here on Extra Sports 1360 after last night's 77-67 loss to New Mexico. Speaking of that fatigue and guarding factor, a lot of people don't point out that when you get to the NCAA tournament, those TV timeouts become a lot longer, and that can actually be beneficial for a team like yours. You get a chance to rest your players more during the course of a game, and they might be able to recover better in those situations where they don't necessarily get that in the regular season.
I'm not thinking that far ahead yet, Ben, but that's nice that you are, and I'm hopeful that will be in those situations. We have to make sure that what is a rarity for us, back-to-back losses. And I heard somebody say we've lost 3 out of 5 now. We're not playing good basketball. I think that's people that don't really watch us. We've played some pretty good teams. And I think the nature of this game, and you look around at our league first, Colorado State losing at Boise State, Wyoming losing at home against Air Force, Vegas losing at TCU. But you can go to other leagues, too, and see teams that have good records, are rated, and they lose games to unrated teams. There are good players and good teams all over, and if you don't play well and the other team makes some baskets, you're going to find yourself on the short end of the stick, and that's happened to us. But that doesn't mean we're wilting or tailing off. It means that we've got to regroup a little bit and find a way when those opportunities come, take advantage of them, like we did when we were winning.
Like you said, Coach, yeah, you guys can't afford to look ahead. As a fan, as a media guy, I can look ahead a little bit. But I'm wondering, is there any difference in coaching when you know your team is ticketed for the NCAA tournament? You had a lot of experience of that at Michigan, where by the middle of the season you kind of know you guys are going. That's never really been the case at San Diego State until these last couple of years. Do you do anything differently late in the season, knowing that you don't have to win every single game down the stretch to bolster your chances just to get into the tournament?
I don't think you do, Ben. I think what you do is you gauge the team that you have. Everybody shortens practice at this time of year. With us, as you alluded to, with a short bench and only 9 scholarship players, they don't do a lot of sitting in practice. So we've tried to monitor practice a little bit and do some mental stuff, let them do a less stressful stuff on their legs, but more thoughtful stuff, whether it be film work, walking, having them watch as we walk through it, and those sorts of things. But I don't think that's in preparation for the tournament. I think that's just, preparing the team that you have in this season for the most success.
Quick injury update here, Coach. Jamal seemed to have turned his ankle a little bit late in the game. Always Tim's knees. Haven't asked about James Rahan's foot in a while. He never seemed to. He's had a couple of good games, but he's never seemed to be totally on track this season. How's everyone feeling coming out of yesterday's game?
Our biggest concern is Jamal. He's on crutches in a boot. Will be evaluated again this evening by our orthopedic doctor, Dr. Chris Baer. I've talked to Tom Abden, our trainer, and I would say as we speak, he would definitely not be able to play today and probably not tomorrow, and I view him as iffy for the game on Saturday.
Okay, that's some big news. Jamal iffy for the game on Saturday, and let's talk about that game. Going to Air Force, always tough to prepare for that offense. Going up again to Colorado Springs, a new coach. Don't make me pronounce his name, but they have an interim coach, their assistant, who replaced Jeff Reynolds in the middle of the season. How do you expect that game to go? It's always tough to prepare for that style of offense.
It's always hard to play Air Force, home or away. I don't know the mood over on their campus and their team. Nobody likes to see a coach let go. Nobody wants to see a coach let go, especially with 7 games or so left in the season. I do know they had a huge win on the road at Wyoming, which has to boost your spirits. Doesn't matter who you are or who's coaching you, whether you have a coach or no coach. When you win a game on the road, they were down 12-2. They were down double figures in the second half, and they made a bunch of threes. And when Air Force makes threes, they're a hard team to beat for anybody. So we'll go in with a cocky, confident against a confident team on Saturday in the academy. The Air Force cadets, they will be ready to play, but so will we. It'll be a hard game.
Well, Coach, good luck bouncing back on Saturday. Congratulations on the news this morning that I'm not able to ask you about, but we'll certainly talk about it on the show today, and we'll talk to you again soon.
I appreciate it, Ben. Thank you very much.